Okay, good morning, everyone. Hope you are having a fabulous Friday so far. I'm super excited to be here, AI coaching with Angelina, and I'm going to be sharing with you today 5 different ways that you can use Notebook LM. And this particular tool, if you want to think of it as just like a content repository, so it has all kinds of different features that will allow you to take your content, organize it, not even just your content, but any content. So videos, PDFs, notes that you've ever taken on anything, and put it in a place, and then be able to pull from that to ask questions and create additional content. So, with that, let's just dive in. And I want to share with you to get there, you're just going to type in Notebook LM. I am going to switch my screens real quick. Okay. And if you have any questions, if you're here live with us, feel free to put those on YouTube if you want to ask in the comment area, and I should be able to see those. So let's go ahead and get started then. So you'll just go to, if I just type notebooklm.google.com. And these are some of the different notebooks that I have created. So um, you can see that they're titled with the different topics and different research things that I've been looking up. So the first one that I want to share with you is Notebook LM as a research repository. Now, I'm a little nervous because it's not sharing my screen. So let me try again to make sure. I need to do this. Thank you for your patience. I'm new to this. There we go. Okay. Now we're good. It's the recording thing that throws me off. So the first one I want to show you is how to create a kind of like a research repository. Okay, so I was working with a client this week, and she works as a coach for diabetes. And so she does a lot of work around mindset. So this here is one of the notebooks that I was using. So if I create one, you can click Create New. I'll show you just how to set it up real fast. So you click Create New, and then you can upload your different sources here. If you're not ready to upload yet, you just click the X. So when you first log in, this is kind of what it looks like. Here's your title of your notebook. You can click here to add sources. So it's kind of like 3 different panels. So this is your source panel, this is your chat panel, and then this is your studio. I'm not going to go into all the features yet, but I just kind of wanted to give you the overview of what that might look like. So if I want to get back to my main notebooks, I click this icon here on the left. And then let's say I don't need that notebook anymore. I can click the little 3 dots and click delete to get rid of that. So we're going to do the first resource as a diabetes mindset. And so she focuses a lot of her content around gratitude and just trying to frame the mindset of someone who has diabetes and how she could support them. And so what we did is we collected a bunch of different resources over here. So the first step we did is we went to YouTube, and we just searched diabetes and mindset. So we'll grab that link. So you can, if you have videos that you've saved before, or you are just, wanting to find some, you can click here. And we'll say that we've watched this one, and it's just amazing. So we'll grab this one and grab the link, and then go over to our notebook here, click add, and then click YouTube, and then paste that link there. And you can put anyone's videos. These don't have to be just yours. And so you'll see I had already actually added that one. So if I already have that source, I can drop and then remove it. Now you'll notice these are all checked. So when they're all checked and we're working in the chat area, it's going to utilize all of those resources. If you don't want to utilize all of them, you can click select all sources and just pick the ones that you want it to reference, and it'll only look at those that you have there. So for this particular one, we could also add transcripts or articles that we found. You could copy and paste text from a particular place, and you could also have just a general website. So I'll show you, I have a transcript. If I click add here, you can literally just drag the resource over and then it puts it in there. So one of the things that I find most amazing, and this is really when you think about you're creating content all the time and you want to have like a bank of ideas to pull from. This is just a great way to kind of have some content pillars and put some resources kind of in this little notebook, and then be able to talk to it and ask it to help you create more content. So one of the questions that I just want to ask here, and hopefully this will work. So I'm going to ask, how do negative thought patterns affect diabetes? And so what it's going to do is it's going to research all of those articles and the things that I've uploaded and then give us some information. And what's so powerful about this is this can just be the spark that you might need to create something on social media. Now let's say if you like what this created, you can also save it to a note. So you can click save note, and then that will appear over here, and you can pull that up and be able to copy and paste that into a Google Doc or whatever it is you're working on. Another idea is to say, I am creating a top 5 list using these sources. Help me come up with a topic, a post. And then it's going to generate a top 5 list. So top 5 mindset shifts for thriving with diabetes. And then you could say, act as a social media expert and create an interesting carousel with these ideas. So now I have my post that I could turn into a blog post. I have these carousel ideas. And so then you could literally take these slides and pop them over on Canva. Okay, so super easy to just grab some ideas. And next I might say, create a LinkedIn article. And then all of these, again, you can save them. So like, let's say I like this Instagram post idea. I'll say save to note, and then it'll be right here. And you can rename this when you go into it. If you click on there, and you can call this Instagram post. Now, these responses are save only right now. So if I wanted to edit them or do something with them, I would need to copy them and put them on Google Docs. However, you also can add a note here and then copy and paste, your ideas over here. Be able to edit that text. So those are just some of the ways that you can have this like repository of information so you're not always searching for something new. Okay, another idea is to use it as a repository, but also take content that you've already created and upload it here. So the example I'm going to show you now, um, so one of my clients that I'm working with has an amazing podcast. And what we're doing is taking all of her previous episodes. So I listed out her podcast title, a link to the episode, and then what the content pillar is. And we're actually going to create notebooks for each of these content pillars. So overwhelm, productivity. Um, and it's amazing. So right now, for this one, the topic is mindset. And so if I wanted, I could say, let's say, list 5 actionable insights for mindset. And like for my client, this is her stuff. So it's not like it's someone else's, it's the things that she's created, but it's going to help her to then take that and repurpose it so that she's not always having to come up with brand new content. And so we could say, summarize the key points around people pleasing. So you get the idea. We can just go back and take content that we already have and then repurpose it. If you want to get rid of this chat, like the conversations that you had, you would just click refresh and then it will erase those previous conversations. Now, something else that's really cool is creating a mind map. So I'm going to click this here. And what it's doing is taking all of this content and kind of creating a visual. So it's saying the big overarching theme is overcoming overwhelm and enhancing productivity. And then these are kind of like the little breakouts that it has that you can see as the topics. So inner critic. So if I click on there, it's going to say discuss what these sources say about the inner critic in the larger context of overcoming overwhelm and enhancing productivity. So it's just a really cool way to like look at the information and be able to break it down. There's so many different things that you can do here. Another idea is to take your previous, if you have a blog. So here were some blog posts, right? So we added 20 different blog posts. And maybe we want to say, give me 3 social media posts from my past blog posts. You could also say, find inspiring quotes. We'll say find 5 inspiring quotes. And again, then you could just grab those quotes, pop it in with a picture. So super easy, just you repurposing content that you already have. Okay, idea number 3 is going to be using a content repository to build and design a course. So this is one of the ones, I'm just going to use this as an example. It's not amazing, but I have collected some sources on Facebook ads. So I was doing some research. I wanted to find like top tips and tricks for Facebook ads. And so what I first did is I used ChatGPT and used the deep research feature. So if you're in here and you want to do anything, you can click this deep research icon and you can say, I want to research around whatever topic it is. And it's going to spend time collecting different sources and then taking you, for example, I did Facebook ads and it'll collect all that information for you. Um, so here, if I go into my Facebook ads notebook, I could add any of those sources. I can also click discover and I can say, I want to find Facebook ads advice for 2025. And then click submit. And it'll also help you to find sources here. And you can then add those to your sources. So sure, why not? I'll say 10. Now, there is a limit to how many resources you can add over here in the free version. So when you get to that point, might be helpful to know. But let's see. So if I click add, you can see a little bar. So it's 50 sources that you can put into a particular notebook. Okay, so what I did is I actually said, I want to create a course on Facebook ads. Help me to create an outline. Okay, and then it said, okay, based on the sources provided, here's a comprehensive outline for your Facebook ads course. And so it literally says, here's the module. Here are the things that you're going to include. So then I can save that and then jump to the bottom. So like right here, it will say save to note. And so I clicked that and Facebook ads, there we go. So if I click save to note, and then that will put my Mastering Facebook Advertising, a comprehensive course. Okay, now what else you can do is within your modules, create the content for the modules right here. So you can click study guide, and then you can also select FAQ. And those are two really helpful things that you can then put into the content of your courses. Another cool feature, so like, let me show you so this would be the study guide. So it's going to show you, like first they're going to talk about campaign structure and setup. Then you have targeting an audience. And then if you needed to make a quiz, you can also have, it'll give you different essay format or questions. There's just general questions here. And then also it'll give you like a glossary of terms so that you can be sure to add that within your course as well. And then this part might blow your mind. There is an audio overview of all of this content. So when you're in your notebook, and I'll show you, you could say, load a conversation. And this is an example of, it gives you two people kind of talking back and forth. So you can also click interactive mode. I don't know if you could actually hear that now that I just played that, but click interactive mode and join into their conversations. You can also then download this conversation. You can tell it that you want it to only talk about a certain topic. So it's really robust and there's a lot of different things that you can do there. The last example that I wanted to show you is using the content I have two more actually. So one of those, So idea number 4 is thinking about your competitors and what they do and how you could integrate that into your business. So one of the use case scenarios is yesterday I was analyzing websites and I wanted to take a look at some different resources and to try to figure out what would be the key points that I want to then integrate into my website. So I just loaded a bunch of different websites that I liked. And then I said, analyze these websites and come up with a list of themes that I can use when creating my website. You could also put your landing page and a webinar, let's say, in there and say, compare these two. Do they align? So you can really just upload any kind of information like on your competitor site. And you could say, have it compare this site to this site. What do you notice? So that might take a little while to come up with because it's a little bit challenging. But this is better than just a general chat GPT because you're feeding it the information that you want it to look at. So based on the analysis, here are some key themes that are used across these websites and could be beneficial for creating your own. All right, so the last one is using Notebook LM to create a newsletter. So one of the things that I had wanted to research was utilizing Canva. And so I had found several different videos that were regarding the Canva Create, the 2005 new features that had come out. And so I added all these different videos. I didn't take the time, to watch it. But what was cool then is I asked it a couple different questions. So this was an outline with to create a class, like a 30-minute class. And it gave me the different topics that I could integrate. And then another would be so we want to create a newsletter discussing these key features. And so you can just pop that in. It's going to give you your content and then you'll have it. So these are just some of the ways that you can utilize this amazing tool. I would love it if you could share with me some of the ways that you are using Notebook LM and pop those in the comments on YouTube. And if you have time, let me stop sharing my screen now. So I would love it if you take a moment to share some of those ways, and then also be sure to sign up for our Facebook group. It's amazing. We share ideas all throughout the week there, and that link is in the show notes. All right, until next Friday, I'll see you at 10.